How many times can you say closer? No way then. Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt with 86. It's been a minute. I didn't shave for you guys. Some things look different. But anyways, we're going to jump right into doing the PodMic. Now, not that there's not 4,637 videos on the PodMic out there. I decided after seeing some of those that I kind of wanted to check it out for myself and maybe decide if this is a microphone I want. Now, I use it for more than just at home, so that's where it comes in extra beneficial to me, and it's also the quarter the price of the SM7B, which is a microphone that I lust after. But that microphone being $400 is way too much for my budget, and for the price of $400, you can get 4 PodMics, so it just makes sense to me to think, go the PodMic route, because they sound 3/4 as good at a quarter the price. That joke was better in hindsight. Sorry if that didn't land very well, but I tried. Been a minute. So some things to know. When you get the PodMic, it comes in a box and it is literally just the PodMic. That's it. There's no protective case for it. It's not even covered with any kind of protective like bag that you have to take it out of. It is literally a PodMic in a box. I got 2 of them. They both came the same way. Just a PodMic in a box. That's it. No extra adapters, which more on that in a minute because you don't need them unless you're going with 1/4-inch mount, I guess. Then you might need one. But I'll cover that in a second. Now, the PodMic is a dynamic XLR microphone. It is meant for podcasting. That's why it's called the PodMic. It is by RODE, if I didn't say that. And typically I don't go towards the RODE brand, but this one really kind of stuck out to me. And I'm not sure that even in this video I can do it justice with the comparisons that I'm about to let you listen to see what you think. Because I think that the microphone sounds really good, especially when used appropriately up close, kind of thinking like a radio DJ kind of situation where you're a lot closer to your microphone than you might typically be. You get the best sound of your voice, the full boominess, the full surround of it. You just get that good feel audio out of it for vocal. But I guess without going too much further, we'll just go ahead and pause here and I'll let you guys listen and you can kind of decide what you hear and what you think listening to the PodMic, and post down below. Tell me what your opinions are. I definitely think that the AT875R has a little more of that boomy good feel, while the PodMic is a little more on that higher end side. But again, when you get closer to the PodMic, as I very gently demonstrate to you in the video, you might notice that it sounds pretty good up close like you're supposed to be. Without further ado, take a listen. Okay, so right now you're going to be hearing me through the AT875R. No, you're not, because it's muted. No, I didn't mute it. I did it right. I did what I was supposed to do. So right now you're hearing me talk through my daily driver microphone, the AT875R. This is a condenser shotgun microphone by Audio-Technica. I use it for pretty much everything that I do, as well as the Lyra microphone, which can't go through my mixer, so we'll do that one a little bit separate, but I'm going to do you a side-by-side right here. So I'm going to mute this microphone now and unmute the PodMic so you can hear the difference. Okay, so right now I'm talking through the PodMic microphone. You should be able to hear me pretty well and get an idea for how it sounds, especially in comparison. $200 condenser shotgun microphone that's not as purposeful as the PodMic is, and the PodMic. Now typically when we're playing games I might sit back like this and talk so you can hear a difference, because the PodMic is going to sound better the closer you get to it. But anyways, this is PodMic. This is the AT875R. Can you hear any kind of a difference at all? Do you think that the PodMic perhaps sounds better, pretty good, pretty awesome? Or do you still prefer the shotgun microphone AT875R? This one. Now typically I'm not this close to this microphone either, so it probably sounds a little different than usual. It's usually probably about 1.5 to 2 feet away from me. But this concludes our comparison between these two microphones. Now let's check out Lyra, a USB podcast microphone that some people may prefer, especially for the price and with what it comes with. And I did a video on that if you want to check it out as well. This is the Lyra microphone right here, if you can see it, and I should be recording from it direct to camera. This is me talking into the Lyra microphone to hopefully give you an idea of what it sounds like, what you're going to hear in comparison with both the PodMics or the AT875R, and if you need to go back listen to those for reference and then come back and listen to this one, it should give you a pretty general idea of what you're going to hear. Now you may notice that there's not a pop filter on it, it's just this silver metal mesh, and that's great because I think aesthetically that looks pretty good. Now you may not agree that aesthetically that looks pretty good, because that's a pretty subjective thing. Much like the way audio sounds to different people, it's a subjective thing. However, there is a pop filter inside of there, so there's no need for an external pop filter to cover that up. The pop filter is inside the metal mesh, and that is pretty cool. Good job, RODE, on that, because that's nice. So on the thread mounting, the reason you probably won't need an adapter is that it comes with a pre-built 5/8 and 3/4-inch thread mount inside. So whatever your boom stand or your swing arm or your boom stand fits, then that's what you'll be able to put it on, and you should be able to just pretty much fit it on there well. Now if you're using a 1/4 inch, you're going to need an adapter. I would take something that, I guess it depends on what you're using, a 5/8 to a 1/4 inch or a 3/4 to a 1/4 inch, then you might need to do that, but that's a pretty small adapter, and I don't see most people needing that. So while I know this video is a little bit short and probably not as super insightful as some of the big sound engineers would probably want, if you're somebody that's looking at this for a big project or something, all I can tell you is sort of my consumer perspective, my consumer appreciation for this microphone. I think it's a fantastic microphone, especially when you couple it with something like Rodecaster. You know, you just get really good sound out of it, especially up close. And if I'm thinking about it, I'll go back and add some more up close talking to it, much like a radio person or a podcaster might be doing, instead of giving you kind of that far away sound, because you might not be getting a good gauge on that further sound. So I'll get a little bit closer to it. In fact, let's just do that. Let's do that right now. I'll throw that in right now. I get a little bit closer to it and you can get to hear what it sounds like more up close. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my radio show. This is my podcast. I don't really have a podcast. I don't want you to think I actually have a podcast, but this is me talking in the RODE PodMic, trying to use my radio voice, in which I have practiced all of 3 minutes for. I usually don't have such animated actions going on here, but I wanted you guys to be able to hear what this sounds like up close if you're doing a podcast. So anyways, let me make sure I'm actually recording here, and it looks like I am, so that's great. Playing all the greatest hits, all the greatest oldies from Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Did you hear that, Simon Cowell? I'm ready. I'm ready to be taken right now, and I hope that's in the public domain so I don't get a copyright something or other. Copyright strike. It's not a strike anymore. What do they call it? They call it a copyright claim. That's what it is. I hope I don't get one of those from singing some Sweet Low, Sweet Chariot or Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Whatever it is, this is my podcast from 86 Media Studio headquarters here in our radio show that we host daily. Not really, because I don't have one of these, and it's taken all of my acting ability in order to do this for you guys. But this is what it would sound like if you were doing some sort of podcast and you're a real energetic person that's right up on that microphone and really getting into it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is. I'm going to get into the rest of my video now, and this is your sample of podmicery. Anyways, have a great day, and I already said that, so here's some applause. And we're just going to slowly let the applause. The audience is driving away right now, so there they go. They're gone. Anyways, back to the rest of the video. This is PodMic, what it sounds like up close. If you're a PodMic person, if you're a podcast person, if you're somebody that gets real serious and right up on that microphone and you really want to share it. This is ridiculous. No need to comment about it below. Just trying to give you something with my pretend radio podcast voice. Yeah. I 100% recommend this microphone. If you've been thinking about it, if you're on the fence about it, if you're somebody that wanted like the Shure SM7B, but you don't want to drop $400 on a microphone, if you don't want the higher end podcast microphone, I think this is a great option. It looks good. It sounds good. It's portable. It is a bit heavy. If I didn't mention that, it is a heavy microphone. Check out this shot right here just to see how heavy it is, especially compared to the Lyra microphone. With the Lyra microphone and the weighted base to it, this microphone is almost that heavy. No regrets whatsoever. Definitely love the PodMics, and they come highly recommended from me in case you're wondering. But definitely go check out some other videos. I'm going to link a guy down below that kind of sold me on the idea of it. I think he does great videos, and he compared this with the Shure SM7B, if that's ever been one you've been looking at. Be sure to go check that out. He did a great job, and it's kind of what pushed me for this whole, for a quarter the price, I can get a pretty good microphone. Anyways, guys, you have a great day, night, whatever it is. I'll see you in the next video I do. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll try to make sure to get these videos back going now that everything seems to be going well here and back set up. Anyways, great day, night, whatever it is. See you in the next one I do.